Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath, and I just like doing these little talks on the way I feel about things. And, well, I'm along the line of I'm spiritual type. I've been looking for spiritual answers for a real long time, and I've collected some data along the way. And what I found is I should maybe share what I found with the other people that maybe don't know where to look. So, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a good day. Let me just preface with that. Let me just start off with that. Good day. I'm having a good day. Just energetically, man, I am freaking taxed. I got like no juice. There were 2 times today. Once when I was doing laundry, and I was like folding a blanket, and I just freaking hit a wall. I just went, and I was like, well, I ate a little something before I left, So I'm not too hungry. I'm not angry. I'm not lonely. I'm not tired. So, it just took the juice out of my sail, man. And then another time, I was on my way home. I had one more errand to run, and I stopped, and I was just like, I felt like I was just talking to the people, and I just freaking just lost my juice again. Like, and I just was talking, and I was, and I just kept rambling on, and I was just like, don't mind me. I'm just like a little kid who's who's up, like, trying to stay awake, like it's time for a nap, that they're out of juice, and they're just keep, fussing and keep moving to keep themselves awake. It threw me by surprise, and my eyes were so sensitive all day long. I usually when I wear my glasses, when I go out, I wear transition lenses on them. There's transition lenses on them, but when I come home, I take them off. Because I think adjusting your eyes, it keeps people from seeing things that they otherwise could be seen. So then I had some sunglasses on, and then I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna do a little experiment. So I wash my hair. I don't have running water, so I store it outside in some containers, and so I use it's outside temperature, and I think today, I don't know, maybe it's 60, I don't know, it's not, but so the water was cold, but it freaking unblocked something. It released some tension somewhere, because just in doing that, my energy field has been freed up, and I feel a lot less dense. Now, I used to just, I'm a kind of person, I'm an Aries sun, in Western, and Cancer rising, Scorpio moon. And then in Vedic, I'm Pisces sun, Scorpio moon, Gemini rising. So when there's a lot of these, transitions between the fluctuation between, people stepping into who they are, they're stepping into their light, I get extra sensitive, because people are doing it more and more, and the more something gets focused on, the more attention it gets, the more it becomes a reality to people who see it. And I don't know if you noticed, but like woo-woo stuff is becoming mainstream. I'm seeing stuff in mainstream, on the cover of Time, meditation, and all this stuff, and more and more people are coming to the realization that they're like, hey, I'm not just a body. There's so much to this life experience than what we think. And every day more and more people are like, because they don't have a choice. More people are like getting fired, having career changes, having to take care of a loved one. They're all these, the way they're ebbing and flowing through life, bebopping along, and then freaking on a dime, you're living a 180. You don't even recognize your life from what it was a couple years ago. And the more people try and fight that, keep it from happening, the more it's resistance, Vibration. I was looking at, I picked up something today, and there was a pincher bug under it. I picked up the cup, and there's a pincher bar on it, and I was outside, and a pincher bug, and it made me think of cockroaches and all those. I think it's funny how all those lower vibrational beings are so sensitive to light, They run when light comes. But if you think about it, there's people like that too, The people that are more inclined to go with their lower vibrational motivations, greed, money, property, prestige, power, you know, whatever makes you be as big and as bold and as grand as you possibly can so everyone can see you. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't need that kind of press because I kind of like my privacy and the quiet. And the bigger things get, it seems like more attention gets on them. And, you know, I'm not for everybody. I am not for most, I tell you what. Because a lot of people, you know, they don't, I don't know, I just stand a little taller, stronger in my convictions. You know, I was talking to, you know, last transaction today, is like, yeah, I haven't had a Subway sandwich in 10 years because freaking, I won't freaking give my money to freaking a company that endorses dog killers, you know? You know? There's a lot of earthly things I'm not in line with, pro sports. And now, I mean, in college sports, just, I mean, sports period, because evidently California passed a law where college kids can get paid now, paid endorsements, you know? So it's just like, in a state where there's so much homeless, so many homeless, that's a smack in the face, you know? That's a smack in the face for a lot of people, you know? Because the deck is stacked anyway with those paradigms, you know? We all know it. Parents paying colleges to get in, you know, taking cuts, you know? There's a lot of talented kids, you know, that were smart and gifted, but they didn't freaking have the money. You know, nobody saw them because they're not in an economic, you know, bracket where they're visible. You know, they're not high enough. So many people go by looks. You know, I go by feel. I go by how people feel. You know, people feel empty and shallow. They ain't the kind of people I want to know. I want to know the people that can freely talk about their feelings and emotions because those are the ones that are more balanced. You know, they're going to be less likely to freaking become unshoveled because I don't know if you ever watched a boiling pot of water. They say a watch pot never boils. I don't believe that. I've watched it long enough that it does. You got to be more patient than the pot of water, I suppose. But you know, it starts out, there's a little bubble here and a little bubble there, and boom, you know, and then it becomes more and more rapid. The energy in us does that same stuff, you know. And the more we keep our energy fields clear and our chakras clear and meditate and eat right, just don't be a jerk, you know. More we line up our chakras, the more we open our minds. And when you open your minds, freaking concepts come in. That's why ideas are designated by a light bulb oftentimes. Ding, light bulb moment, you know? Because when you relieve yourself from all the baggage of your past, not just this incarnation, but, you know, wreckage of, you know, and guilt that you've had from what your family's done, if you have that, or maybe things that you've done in your past life that you recall and you're trying to, you know, that's what we have incarnations for, is to, it's Groundhog's Day, to live the best version of ourselves, you know, and to freaking hopefully, you know, you're born, you figure out, oh, I'm a spirit, and we're all connected, and then, you know, you try and you live out in service of other people, you know, that's the idea, and then you just continue to live the best version of yourself. But there's this whole other idea that came along that just, you know, where people are like, well, I don't have to work as hard if I just take it from people and all this stuff, and I don't have to work, and they're just shady, and I'll take from them and I'll make them work for me, and this, the world became imbalanced in a very, very, very big way, and energy doesn't work that way. Man has no power over energy like that. So now it's like, the astrology's lining up, you know, and people are like, I can't live this way anymore. You know, things that my conscience is, your subconscious and your conscience, they coexist all the time. Kitty, kitty, kitty! You know, people just ignore it. That little voice in your head, that's, you know, if it's for you and your highest good, it's a freaking for the good. If it's telling you to harm yourself, if it's telling you to freaking that you know, everybody's after you and everybody's against you and all that stuff, dude, there's vibrational freaking attachments that attach to our psyche that aren't ours, you know. I mean, that's what ghosts are. They're freaking people in different dimensions and different frequencies, and a lot of times spirits freaking die on Earth in crazy freak accidents and don't even know that they're living a loop, you know, that they're living that last moment or whatever it is, you know. until someone acknowledges, hey, you're free to go, you know, and they're like, what? I didn't know I was stuck. And then they're gone, and, you know, back to source. The way I look at it, I think when the spirit goes back to source, it's like the solar system, SOUL, solar system, our last breath, because energy doesn't die, man. Energy does not die. We don't die. Our soul sacs do, but we don't. And the more people get out there and, like, you know, shine their light, the longer that their light's gonna last, you know. Who knows what you do today, how that's gonna positively impact somebody. I've had in the last year people I've known 20, 25 years ago just randomly write me and say, Marge, you know what? Because you were so unafraid to be who you were and live who you are in alignment, that helped me come out of the closet or do whatever. And you know, I already helped one person in this world, so I'm good. But I'm not satisfied with that. I'm here to help as many people as I can. You're an energetic, sensitive man. This stuff is crazy. And you go to a doctor and a scientist, they can't explain it. Because they just read stuff from books that are written because people have read other books. So all this stuff comes out of books. But energy is, once you get, you know, remove enough of that denseness, it frees you up and you get tuned into things. But that's the difference. The light isn't going to tell you to do things to harm yourself. The light isn't going to freaking say, you know, go hurt other people to make your life better, you know, be an opportunist, you know. That's not what the light's about. The light really doesn't give a crap about money. I don't freaking give a crap about money. Do I need it? Frick yeah. Why? Because other people give a crap about money, like people I rent from want to pay the mortgage. So it's because of that. But, you know, I mean, the mortgage is a crock. You're paying freaking like 700, you know, 300 goes to principal and then 700 goes to the banks. It's like, it's all that stuff. It's like, man, that's terribly, terribly imbalanced. I see the freaking balance and imbalance of everything. It's freaking annoying, including myself. Because I know what it takes to keep me even keel. And there's some days if I don't gotta leave the house, man, I ain't gonna. Because I'm aware. But because I'm aware, that's fine. It doesn't mean I want to freaking go out in the world and put up with a bunch of people who are just going through life like Tesla, NFL, Audi, BMW. These are what matter, not people. And it just, I don't want to know those people, man. I just don't even want to know those people. Shallow. I just see about that much of them. And I see them driving in their cars. I picture, I don't know, I was born in the 70s. They used to have these little toys that, like, it was like a half a person. They didn't have legs. It was just a round person. It was half. And that's like, when I see people, you know, I just see so many plastic people in the world. I'm like, I wonder if they have legs. But there's a lot of good people coming into themselves too, though, you know? They really are. I like the quiet ones that find their voices, man. Like the sick ones that find their health, you know? I used to go to, you know, when I freaking hate alcohol. Hate it. I mean, I love it. Hate it. Love it. Love oblivion. Hate out. It's straight up poison, dude. It's straight up toxic poison. And people put so many people do that every day. And they're like, well, it's fun. Living the same day over and over. But it's fun. So, I hate alcohol, but I love it. But people are finding that it's not working. You know, that's what happened to me. That it's a trip, man. You drink freaking 12, 13 beers and you drink you get drunk, but then you drink through it and you drink yourself sober. It's a trip. It's a trip. I know a lot of people have done it. I know a lot of people have done that worse. But you know what? People are coming into themselves because they're finding that that's not working. And alcohol literally takes your spirit. Blood alcohol count. Yep. It removes the oxygen from your blood and replaces it with alcohol. Breath is the only thing, the only difference between us live animated human beings and a dead person, breath, alcohol, spirit. And when people drink, they're replacing that spirit with booze, and that puts people down into a lower vibrational frequency where they do things that they never thought they would do, or they say things that they never thought they would say. Or who knows, maybe they go into a blackout and they don't even remember what they say. You know how many times I had to freaking be cool and try and figure out what I did the night before, at whatever event, because I'd have a memory fade, I'd have a blackout. My spirit would go out because it couldn't watch. It couldn't even stay in my vessel to watch me harm myself on purpose. And I see so many people, and I just know that they're hurting. I know that they're hurting, and I know how they're hurting. But willingness is a two-parter. You got to be willing, and then you got to take an action. Because you can just, I want to, or I don't want to, all day long. But people got to take the action, and now people are starting to take the action. Because they don't have a choice. Because the old ways of, of methods of soothing themselves aren't working with intoxicants and things like that. So now they're taking more freaking extreme measures, more pills. I read an article this morning, this opiate, dude, the thing is, if somebody needs to make $120,000, $190,000, $120,000, $140,000, $400,000, if somebody needs to make that much money, that's all ego, dude. That's all ego. That's all that is. It's it, dude. I got big plans. I want to help a lot of people, and I'll freaking offload money as squirrel quick as I get it. I will, because I just look at it as an energy, and I'll just be the recipient. I'll hang on to it for a second, and I'll keep that going. But what happens is egos get so big, and they're like, well, I deserve it, because what I have to say is really important. Now, all of this information is for anyone to freely accumulate, because all I have to do is go to the right places to look, but they put a price tag on it, and then their egos get bigger. They're like, well, and then there's, when, like me, I'm like, inclusion is the key to harmony, and then people start getting, I've seen that a lot, you start seeing them do less videos on YouTube, and they're changing it to more of a paid platform, and that's fine for them. But then, they will drop off your radar, and then I'll, maybe one day I'll find, I wonder whatever happened to them, They am not around, or they went back to 3D life, or whatever, But it's whatever anybody can live with, and my challenge right now is just let people live. Because I can be so judgmental. And that is my lesson right now, because I can get, I get frustrated, and I get mad, and I get indignant, and all these lower vibrational things when my ego flares up. So I got to keep my ego in check. I got to keep that balance, meditation. So when I'm done here, I'm about done here, and actually I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to find a nice, I like Joe Tracy and Lillian Eden, Rasa Lapashuta, but watch those practitioners, the ones that have been consistent in what they're providing, not the ones that are like, they're going to start raising their prices, but then their readings start getting shorter and shorter. Watch that, that's one of the reasons why I do one of these videos every day, is just so I can, because I didn't want to, like I went out today, it's like I didn't want to go. We don't always get to do, and it ain't always just about me, so I had to go do laundry, and I had to go shopping, and Mom was out of apples and yogurt and stuff, and I put it off long enough, and I know that the fiery energies are only going to be worse tomorrow, or Thursday and Friday, they're going to be touchy, and when I'm this sensitive, just stay home, hang out with Mom, go for walks in the park, take pictures of birds and whatnot, and then I guess Monday, I'm not going nowhere on Monday. Monday's like, there's like, and it's funny because I follow astrology so much, and I watch all these other things that do, and then Pluto's going direct tomorrow. On the 3rd, October 3rd. It's a significant day to me. Anyway, and so and that as I understand it represents a lot of infrastructure and stuff like that, and a lot of these big entities like local governments, city governments, all the way up, they've been collecting our money for years and years, and now, you know, there's like one of the readers I saw today. It's Wednesday, and his stepdaughter was off from school because there was a gas leak in the school. And that's the thing is, we have been doing our part. We've been the citizens of this country have been doing their part, trying to sustain the grossness of the military deficit and all that stuff on our backs, while millionaires don't get taxed and stuff like that. So we did a good job, and we paid, all the stuff they were supposed to do, the city and the state and the Fed. But the thing is they just paid themselves. They took all that money that we gave them in good faith to maintain our infrastructure, and they used it to pay themselves. And now infrastructure, that's why they're freaking Massachusetts. I remember, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there was a faulty washer or something. So a neighborhood just, random houses were just blowing up, and people thought it was a war zone. See, that's the thing, is we may have had the fortune of not having a war on U.S. soil since the Civil War, whatever. But the thing is we have been a part of so much nasty war that life is going to mimic reality. So we may not get it like boom, boom, boom bombs, like from arsenals and planes and stuff like that, but we're getting the booms, booms, booms because the freaking greedy people didn't fix the infrastructure like they were supposed to do. They put all the money in their pockets, so now people are. It's what happens, You gave the purse strings to the wrong group, and but it's the astrology is all changing, and best advice I got for, I don't know, best thing for me to keep in mind, if someone's disheveled and freaking just shorting out, you don't, just because you're in a place like a restaurant or right there, a lot, if they become like, you can see like, you can see if just things don't feel right, just leave a place. Listen to your guts. Just go. If you don't feel good about a person, go. Get away from them. It's all about discernment right now, man. We've had our whole lives to practice discernment and to test it, Okay, I go against my gut and it always ends up badly. I think about if I would have just listened to all how it would have worked out, right? But it's all about now it's no more freaking dress rehearsal, folks. The world has changed. The world has changed. And it's an energy society, and freaking, I was talking about how boiling water, when it gets more and more rapid, and how our energy does that too. Well, the way I see it is, people that have kept control, that like, I've had traumatic things happen at PTS freaking time and time again. I didn't even know what that was until I was 30. I was like, oh, that's what that is. Freaking, I've had so many instances happen, and there's people like me that I know that have, worse. I went to freaking high school with the girl who, in a writing assignment, freaking told a story about how she had recall about, the storyline about how your parents, like, there's a lot of siblings, and then, like, you see Timmy taking off and then the trash goes out and stuff. That happened to her. She had her parents hack up her freaking sibling and put it out in the garbage. That was her reality. And that's just, people don't want to look at it, but that's a storyline that's happened because of their imbalance, and they get the wrong ideas about things. And that's, like I said, I've had traumatic things happen to me, but I mean, there's people that have always had it worse. So people that stuff like that has happened to people more than they realize. And it's a vibration, and what's happening is now it's people are remembering those things that happened, these traumas that they just ignored for 5, 10, 15, 30, 50, 70 years, But it's an energy, and energy is like a splinter, man. It festers and it gets gross and it causes cancers, and it comes out whether people deal with it or not, come to terms with it or not, you know? So people are remembering all these terrible things that are happening to them, and it's like you gotta freaking, because it's keeping them from moving on in life. And but there's more energy practitioners like me, you know. Oh, dude, energy practitioner, hang out with people that make you feel good. That's energy practicing right there. Just hang out with people that make you feel good. Don't hang out with people that don't. That's it. Wouldn't that be great if we could just go around and do whatever we want to do when we want to do it? Wouldn't that be wonderful? We don't get to do that. So in the meantime, try and enjoy things that you like to do to keep yourself balanced. You know, I like hanging out under my favorite tree with my cat. I like to meditate. I'm gonna go do that now. So don't let people freaking try and get rid of your buttons right now. Try and imagine what life would be right now if you didn't have buttons. Because if you didn't have buttons, people couldn't push them. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.